Welcome to the Modular Clubhouse. I'm Jesper and this is the Tiptop Audio ONE. So the Tiptop Audio ONE is widely regarded as being the best sampler out there for Eurorack. And in this episode I want to dive into why that is, and I'm going to have a first-hand look at this, kind of small module. So I'm interested to see why this is indeed the best module out there for sampling. So I do have to thank Tiptop Audio for making this available to me and sponsoring this episode. And other than that, I would say, let's dive in, shall we? So let's have a closer look at the Tiptop Audio ONE. First off, let's run through the controls. So you've got a level selector, you've got your play button, you've got your SD slots for your samples, of course. You've got your file selector, and you've got your pitch, or you might even use that as a secondary file selector as well. You've got CV in, gate in, and out. And so let's connect the out real quickly. So I'm using Tiptop stack cables, or stackables, or stackables, perhaps, I'm not quite sure. And you can then of course play the samples by using the button there, but that's of course not really fun to do that. So you can just keep on playing them, select for other files. You can have up to 256 files on there if I'm not mistaken, and you can of course use your own as well. So let's try that. So I'm just gonna remove this SD card, and you can apparently do this live as well. And I'm gonna put one of my own in there. And I need to press play once to initialize the SD card, and then I can do
the Modular Clubhouse.
Oh wow, isn't that cool?
The Modular Clubhouse. The Modular Clubhouse. The Modular Clubhouse.
So you can do all kinds of funny things with that. So let's switch back to the actual SD card that came with the one. So that one is called Factors. So let's get that in there, initialize it again, and we're back. So as said, file selector, pretty straightforward. Pitch in the regular mode, and you can also use the play button to change the playback mode. So the default is that the pitch is going to be quantized to a 12 note scale. You can set it to an unquantized state, and you can also say, I want to use the CV input for a file selector, which is of course extremely neat if you want to do certain specific samples in a drum loop, for instance. So how about we just set it up? So I'm going to connect something to the actual gate and to the CV, hook that up to my sequencer, and we can see what we can try and do with it. There we go. So I've got a pretty standard sequence going, and as you can hear the pitch go up and down as well. You can then of course change the file as you like. Of course this is all fun and games, but if we then change the mode by just holding down this button and turning this knob, we will now be able to select different files to play while we are running this. So every different note that I hit in my sequence will play a different file. You can of course change the offset. kind of nice tune already, right? That's something you can dance to. So what you can also do is just put it in the mode that we just saw. So bright blue, that's the normal mode. We can also turn it all the way there, and now it becomes unquantized. So if we now play that again, it's already quite nice, right? And there are some other settings. You can play around with the specific settings on, you can create playlists. So if you have a very specific number of samples that you have in mind you want to incorporate into your patch, you can make sure that you will always start with those, and you can just use them. You can also use some of these together. You can also connect these to the other drum units that Tiptop offers as well via the included bus connector that it has. So it's a very versatile, but even though still really simple module to use, it's so straightforward. I'm just going to play around with it for a bit. I'm just going to put it back into file selector mode, and that's something I really love doing. So let me just put this back here. There we go. That's just fun, isn't it? So Tiptop do sell additional SD cards, commercially available samples. You can use your own, you can use the SD card that comes with it. So the possibilities are literally endless. Anything you want to use, you can just put on there and sample it into your patch. It's a great little module, and I truly understand why they say this is the most versatile and the actual benchmark when it comes to samplers out there. So there you have it, the Tiptop Audio ONE. So there you have it, the Tiptop Audio ONE. Such a versatile little machine in just, what was it, 4 HP. It's a tremendous wonder of machinery, if you ask me. I did forget to mention one specific thing, is that even though I use this now to play some samples, some audio samples, you can actually put CV samples on this as well. So you can actually create your own custom envelopes, your own LFOs, your own functions, you name it. Of course, this thing is fully DC coupled, so that's why you can do that. So that's it on the Tiptop Audio ONE. Again, I want to thank Tiptop Audio for sponsoring this video. But before I send everyone off to their merry way, one of the key questions people have asked me while I embarked on my Eurorack journey is, Jesper, what's your musical goal? Because that's the thing that's going to influence the choices you're making, the modules you want to get up in your rack. And I've been thinking about that. So I'm coming from a punk rock and heavy metal, and more specifically black metal background. So my initial goal would be to create electro punk, and I think that that's where this sampler will really shine. Get some nice vocals on there, get some guitar samples on there as well. And when I am embarking more onto the ambient black metal sounds, I really want to get some good screams on here and some really great ambient noises that I can incorporate into anything else I'm going to be creating with my Eurorack synthesizer. So again, I want to thank everyone for your time, for your interest in my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, thanks to Tiptop Audio for making this possible. For now, I would say stay healthy, stay safe, have a great day, and cheers.